Okay, this is a presentation for Intro to Web Technologies. This is UAlbany Web Developers, Team 5. My name is Miriam, and I'll be starting off this presentation. So, a little bit about the World Wide Web. In 1989, Tim Berners-Lee proposed a hypertext-based information system at CERN. In 1990, Tim was the first browser slash editor who created the World Wide Web, and it was publicly accessible in 1991. Then, 2 years later, the browser was introduced. Inline images in 1993. And then going on to the next year, 1994, Netscape Navigator launched commercial web expands. The evolution of the modern web. In the late 1900s, search engines like Yahoo, AltaVista, and Google were introduced. In the 2000s, there was a second version of web interactive sites like social media and user contact. And then in 2010, the mobile web, iCloud computing, streaming, and AI was introduced. And till this day, we have billions of users, web support communication, businesses, and education. These are the sources that I use to find that information.
Hi, my name is Anas, and I'm gonna be talking about client-server model. First, what is a client-server model? It is a network structure where different computers have different roles. One computer acts as a client, and another acts as a server. The client is a device that requests information or services. For example, your phone or laptop when you open a website. The server is a powerful computer that stores data and provides services. It waits for requests from clients and then responds. Next slide. Okay. So here's an example. First, the client sends a request from a browser like Chrome or Safari, and then the server receives the request. For example, here the UAlbany server. And then it finds the requested information, and then the server sends back a response, which could be a web page, data, or a file. Finally, the client receives the response and displays it to the user. This process is called request-response cycle, and it happens very quickly, usually in few milliseconds. Thank you.
My name is Tejas, and I'll be going over HTTP and HTTPS. HTTP stands for Hypertext Transfer Protocol, and it allows web browsers and servers to communicate. It usually works on port 80, and it uses request and response model. Data is usually sent in a plain text, not encrypted. So it works in a way where the user types a website URL, the browser sends an HTTP request, the server processes the request, and then it sends it back on the HTTP response, and then the browser displays that web page. So what is HTTPS? HTTPS stands for Hypertext Transfer Protocol Secure. So it uses HTTP and SSL TLS encryption. It works on port 443. It encrypts data between browser and server, and it uses digital certificates to verify identities. It's important because it allows for confidentiality, which means data is encrypted, integrity, so data cannot be altered in transit, and authentication, which confirms the server identity. It also protects against eavesdropping, man-in-the-middle attacks, and credential theft. Here's some examples of the way they're used. Browsing websites, online banking and shopping, logging into accounts, sending form data, API communication, and secure file downloads. And finally, a comparison between the two. HTTP is not encrypted, less secure, than port 80. HTTPS is encrypted with SSL TLS. It's more secure, and it uses port 443. Thank you.
Okay, that is all of our presentations. Thank you for listening.